All right, ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? Welcome to Wuthering Waifus, my breakdown of the newest resonators in our favorite game, Wuthering Waves. And we got a big one today. We're going to be talking about Aemeath, as I've finally learned how to pronounce her name. And we're going to just sort of break down everything that she does, how free-to-play or not free-to-play friendly she is. And, yeah, it took me a couple days longer than I initially wanted to get the video out, but I really wanted to make sure that I had things right, and just feel like I actually had this thing down. So, without further ado, I want to give a shout out to my friend Dante, who did help me compile some of this information and some of these takes. And, okay, so if you're an OG player of both PGR and or WUWA, I cannot help but see Aemeath as another version of Nanami, a character from another Kuro game. Both are lighthearted characters, tugging at your heartstrings. Aemeath, or should we be calling her Aemeath, or Aemeath, is a digital ghost. She originally is just an ordinary student, chosen by the Exostrider to be a sentinel resonator. She has a passion for saving the world, a childish dream from a kind-hearted girl who was never tainted by the harshness of real life. Aemeath will later on reject this idea, but we won't give any spoilers today. So Aemeath is releasing here in patch 3.1 of Lahairoi, the Roya Frostlands region, and one of our major concerns early on is that this is actually one of the most free-to-play unfriendly units that you could possibly have at this phase of the game. Hopefully that changes as more units come out and the meta shifts a little bit, but right now her place in the meta is locked to a couple teams, and they're not cheap, my friends. They are not cheap, and so please make sure that you do inform yourself before you just pull because you like the pink-haired girl. I get it. I've done that. And let me just tell you, you may end up regretting it unless you don't care about endgame and meta and all that stuff, in which case, well, there's not really a need to watch YouTube content on characters. Just pull who you want and have fun with the game. That's always the recommended way to play the game anyways, I think. But, you know, we can't help but want to see that flashing number on the screen be as high as it can possibly go. And in her case, that number is going to be tied to a couple teams, and probably right now one in particular. So let's go ahead and start with weapons, where we always do. This is the first part of the free-to-play unfriendly problem. She really, much like Cartithia, she really, really needs her weapon, her SIG weapon. And I guess while we're parked here, let's talk about that. This isn't really that revolutionary. Cartithia also not super free-to-play friendly, although maybe a little more so because Arrow Rover can hold a spot on that team. So you don't need all limited characters, but you really do need the dedicated support in Shikona to hit her full potential. On top of that, you do need Cartithia's SIG weapon. Really, this is only our third Sentinel Resonator, and the first one was so early in the game, Jinshi, that it's hard to compare either of these two to her, because she's an old unit now, and at the time there weren't that many teams to even comprise with her. You almost had to use 4-star units or standard banner units or whatever. So, anyways, her weapon is going to be almost mandatory. It just does so much. It interacts with her kit, and let's see what it does here. It's going to give, at level 90, it's going to give 587 attack and a pretty nice 24.3% crit rate bonus. Rank 1 Star Chaser. We're not going to look beyond Refinement 1. Increases all attribute damage bonus by 12%. When inflicting Tune Rupture Shifting or Fusion Burst, the wielder's Resonance Liberation damage ignores 32% of defense and 10% fusion res on targets for 8 seconds. So, this is a really, really nice weapon. The reason that this is not free-to-play helpful is twofold. One is it cuts both ways, right? One, you need it to really reach Aemeath's potential, and two, you cannot use this weapon on any other resonator. So if you're a person that likes to pull weapons that have more universal value, this is not a weapon that's like that. Obviously, there are exactly 0 units that can inherit this weapon's passive outside of her. You're probably not going to be using it on anyone other than her, but there are cases where it can be nice to swap weapons between characters for whatever reason, or maybe you pulled this character, got her weapon, and then you didn't end up liking the character, and maybe you're like, well, hey, I can still use the weapon on another character. Well, not in this case. So that's a problem. The other problem is that there's not really a great alternative. Emerald of Genesis can be a decent stat stick that's going to give you the same attack and the same secondary stat bonus, but other than that, you're just going to get a little bit of extra attack and the energy regen. The new standard weapon is garbage for her. You can get. I mean, the resonance skill bonus from the passive is okay with her, but not getting a crit main stat and basically just getting the same attack from the other weapons. So not really preferable. If you're not willing to at least give her Emerald of Genesis, or the only other really viable third option would be if you have the Battle Pass sword and are willing to refine it several times, or have it refined several times, that could be an option potentially for her. So there is that. So yeah, that's really all we need to do. All we need to spend on weapons. Let's look at her Sonata stuff. So, Trailblazing Star is a brand new Sonata set that's obviously tailor-made for her. The 2-piece will give you the fusion damage bonus, and the 5-piece is going to give you this bonus. Inflicting Fusion Burst or Tune Rupture Shifting increases crit rate and grants a fusion damage bonus. So pretty nice, good stuff. And so there's no reason to look anywhere else. This game, some sources will give you alternatives and say, well, if you're not the, early game artifact or not early game Sonata set alternatives or whatever until you make it to the Royan Frostlands. Just go to the Royan Frostlands and get her Sonata set. That's crazy. Why would you waste the resources and build her a Flaming Claw print set or something like that? It's not worth it. It's stupid. There's not one set way to play every single character, but for certain things, there is really only one good way to do, and when it comes to a lot of Sonata sets for the newest characters, they each have their own dedicated set. And so this is one of those times where it's like, no, don't give her Flaming Clawprint or Molten Rift or something. Just give her this, call it a day. It's going to buff either playstyle. So, anyways, the Sigillum is going to be same thing as what I was just talking about. No reason to consider any other option. This one is also tailor-made for her, and you're going to get it when you farm her weekly boss. So just wish yourself some luck. If you can only farm 3 of these a week or whatever, wish yourself luck, and hopefully you can at least get and see, like for me, I didn't get a double crit piece yet. I do at least have a second crit stat on there, and so can get a little better, but good enough for now to get started this early after her release. So Sigillum is going to be best because it's a summon type echo. I prefer summon type echoes with all of my DPS characters, just because they don't waste additional time, transforming into something. It's just a quick shot, does some damage, some fusion damage here. And the biggest thing is this is going to buff for Resonance Liberation damage, which is the main function of her kit. So other than that, it's going to be... you're going to want to go the standard crit 4 cost, fusion damage bonus on the 3 costs, and attack on the 1 costs, and focus on crit stats, obviously. You're going to want to get some resonance. Any time you can get liberation damage bonuses in the substats, that's going to be very helpful. And if you can get a little bit of energy regen, that's not going to hurt either. Other than that, that's basically what it is. For her kit, her talent priority here is going to be Resonance Liberation. The entire kit does revolve around that. So Resonance Liberation, very closely followed by Forte Circuit, are going to be her top 2 to focus on getting to 10 as soon as possible. Unless you bought the Battle Song collection, then you probably haven't been able to do that just yet, but hopefully by next week you can. Make sure you get her inherent skills also tuned up, and don't forget about the nice little crit bonuses here, and here. So, anyways, without further ado, I'm going to say, as we look here at the, like Lene, she's another resonator that has a couple different options for resonance modes. And Lene's is Tune Strain and Tune Rupture. This is a little different. Aemeath has Tune Rupture, and then she also has a Fusion Burst playstyle. With Fusion Burst, there's really going to only be one potential team comp for now, where that is where you would want to, how you would want to play her, and that would be building her on a team with Chisa, and that's only because Chisa can double her max stacks of Fusion Burst. Other than that, she cannot get it buffed by any other resonators. So really, I'm going to recommend for now that you just leave it on Tune Rupture, which is the left one over there, where I have it locked on right now. So we'll take a quick look here. This is more of a novel than just about any of the other ones. Especially when you look at some of her sequence nodes. Those are crazy, dude. Trying to interpret all of that. Babel is... I don't know how anybody does it. I don't know how they wrote it. I don't know who thought this would be a good idea. But anyways, the kit is not so difficult to understand once you play it. Basically, after introing, you're going to want to get her Resonance Liberation on board as soon as possible. In most endgame modes, it's already up, so you're going to hit it. And that's going to grant you Heavenfall Edict Overdrive. That's going to deal some fusion damage and switch into mech form. After that, you're going to be in overdrive mode, and that's when you're going to want to come over and do a resonance skill if your forte gauge allows it. If not, perform a few basic attacks, build up the forte gauge, and then go ahead and resonance skill, and you're going to switch forms back. And that will bring the Sync Strike Armament Merge. You're going to do another string of basics, dealing fusion damage, and perform a second resonance skill, Sync Strike Call of Dawn. And after that second skill is performed, you're going to see that a heavy attack is available. That heavy attack is going to unlock her second ultimate, which is Heavenfall Edict Finale. And the nice thing there is you actually have the option to press Resonance Skill or Liberation to go ahead and fuck up the enemy, shall we say. Rip the floor out from underneath them. So it did take me a little while to figure out how to play it. I think that come far enough to be able to at least show you a couple decent rotations. So let's get into it. Let's do TOA, and we'll show you what our premium team looks like. It is, of course, going to be the last 3 resonators that appeared, and so this is tough. This is not free-to-play friendly. Your average player does not have the resources to pull 3 limited characters in the span of a month and a half or so. So, yeah, it kind of sucks. If you have one of them, you can still get close to her damage ceiling. If you have one of the 2. Or if you have Chisa in one of the 2, or Lupa. And if you have Lupa and Mornier, or you have Chisa and Lene, you may still be able to do it. But it is going to be... You're taking a DPS loss for sure. And so here we go. This is going to be the rotation. It is going to be Mornier into Lene into Aemeath. So we'll start with Mornier. And we're going to get that charged attack there as soon as possible. Resonance skill, run the Echo, Liberation. Then we're going to get a tune break. We're going to another charged attack once it's glowing blue. Do that, and when her outro's ready, we bring Lene in. Skill, Echo, Liberation. Charged attack for about a second and a half there, and do 3 leaps in the air and a plunging attack. Tune break. And Aemeath is ready, and you're going to perform the Liberation if it's available. And then you're going to perform some normals. Skill. Normals again, and another skill, and then you're going to... Well, I fucked that up already. There we go. Hold that charged attack, get the ultimate, the second ultimate. Alright, and Mornier... back. You don't have to hold that charge attack the second time because she's already up in the air in wide field observation mode. And, okay, another charged attack. Lene on field.
Special delivery, go boom! Go over here. Hey, where's the fire? Yeah. Whirling up from the sky. Starlight over the sea.
Alright, perform a few basic attacks. Open with that liberation. Skill. Some basic attacks. Build up the gauge. Skill again. And then the charged attack and the second ultimate. There we go. I got it down right that time. Okay. Back to Mornier.
Authorizing maximum output. Order executed. Drive safe. Don't blink. You'll miss the best part. That's all you got, Mark. You right, sweetheart? Whirling up.
And see, this is where it would be nice to have a little bit more ER on her so that you know that that ultimate is always up. And there we go. Okay. And so even with that, fucking up that first rotation a little bit, pretty easily clears. Pretty easily clears there. And so... we can go ahead actually and try. I'm gonna have to clear this. I'm gonna have to reset that. And we'll go so that we can show with Chisa. Oh wait, oh no. Okay, we need to do this. So this would be, let's go ahead and just do a little trial of Fusion Burst and see what the difference is here. And see if we can get close to the same clear time, which is about 3 minutes remaining, right?
Special delivery, go boom! Take it up, go over here. Hey, where's the fire? I'm just getting started. In the blink of an eye. Nothingness. Deconstructed. This ends here. Cutting through the numbers. Whirling up. Starlight over the sea.
Okay.
Scorch through the void. The world is mine to guard. Objective.
Basically gonna play her the same. see how the time compares.
Check this out. Need a ride, sweetheart? On the brink of an eye. A pivotal moment. Break apart. Whirling on. Souls sing in harmony. To the Savior's victory. Light show for finale. Fire. Order confirmed. Feather drones assemble. Come on.
Avengers assemble.
Body limit unlocked. The Savior rises.
Alright, that's not bad. 305.
Tie a bow and call that my signature. Next up, perfect mark.
Oh, come on.
I'm just getting started. New look. Light bulb block in the brink of an eye. Come, meet your end. Structural collapse. Cut. Connection 7. Whirling on. Blade cleaves the night. Peril urged in light. Break apart. Heroes on. Lights up. Line lights. Check. Come on, little one. Fly high. Truth. Reach the cosmos.
Okay, so still clears pretty easily. Not the best run, but again, for a new Resonator, still working on the build and all that. But you get the gist of it. That those are going to be really the only two teams that she's viable in right now, and so what are we to do if we're low spender or free to play? Is this character worth getting? I think the answer is probably wait and see, and potentially no. My fear is that people see the character, they play the story, and they really like the character and say, I'll figure out a team. There's always some option that'll work. And, if you're a new player and or even if you're an old player and you just don't, spend a lot of money on the game or whatever the case is, you're probably not going to have all of her best. You're not going to have even 2 of her 4 best in slot characters for these teams. They've put 3 characters on her banner together. 2 including her, that you may, with an untrained eye, look at it and think, wow, they want me to pull all 3 of these characters and play them on a team together. Well, first of all, no, that doesn't work. Lupa basically needs only fusion. The other thing is that then you need to get at least 2 5-star weapons. So there's no way you're doing that if you're a new player. So hopefully you did grab one of either Linné or Mornier. And then if you did that, then I would say, please, by all means, go ahead, pull this character, grab the other one of whoever you didn't get in the last patch on their rerun. They rerun new characters, new popular characters, in a pretty quick turnaround in this game. So I would say, if you don't have any of them, wait and see. Pull Aemeath on her rerun. It won't be that long. It'll maybe be 4 or 5 months. if you did get one of them, at least, then pull if you want to. Only pull if you're willing to get the weapon, and be aware that this is not a character that's going to break the meta necessarily. Don't believe some of the videos you're seeing online about, posting 500, 600k damage off the rip. You're only going to get that with her premium team and optimal builds. You can believe me or not believe me, but that has been my experience, especially if you are a more of a skill issue player like myself. You're not going to achieve that without both of them. It's just not feasible. And so with that, that's where we're gonna leave it for now. This is a character that I wish I saw more from. I wish Kuro would do a better job of making this a universal character, because everyone was so excited for her. And she seems like a very, very cool character, great backstory, all of that. I just wish they had thought more about that side of things. So maybe we'll see more in the future, but for now, this is where we're at with things. And so thank you for checking out the video. Please like this video. Please subscribe to the channel. It would really help. And I welcome any feedback or critique, as long as it's not insulting my playstyle or my skill issue. I already know that. So the voice in my head tells me that every time I play, right? Okay. Anyways, thank you guys so much. Love y'all. Bye for now. Catch you on the next